Good morning to all the participants. I'm thrilled you're here. Truly grateful that you are making the time to participate in our Zoom webinar at a time seemingly defined by so many competing webinars. You're here. Thank you. I started as president of Bakersfield College in 2013, and in 2014 was brought into a conversation that Congressman McCarthy had started with the Kern Community College District and NREL. I remember the field trip out to the beautiful NREL campus in Colorado, and now 6 years later, we are rolling out the collaborative work with NREL here in Kern County in a formal way. The Kern Community College District, Bakersfield College, and Saracoso have all been involved with energy one way or the other. At BC, we have strong partnerships with our oil companies. ERA, thank you for the STEM Success Center, and Chevron, thank you for the multiple projects we have done together, including the Energy Academy with the Kern Hispanic Chamber of Commerce taking the lead. So it seems natural that the Kern Community College District should take on the role of facilitating this opportunity of expansion within our energy sector, and in 4 critical ways. The first one is connecting talent to research in a systematic way to keep Kern as a leader of energy in California. And if you noticed our hashtag, if you're out in the Twitter world, social media, go ahead and do hashtag Kern Leads or hashtag Energy at Kern. The second way is contributing to smart policy. Please note, smart policy in Sacramento that is grounded in the needs of our industries and our workers. Number 3, aligning with industry partners, investors, and government representatives in the transfer of technology from research to the field. And number 4, building a comprehensive and intelligent education ecosystem, from basic skills training to the completion of a baccalaureate degree to doctoral degrees, meeting the needs of a complex workforce, all with good family wage jobs. These aspects of the core mission of the community college are reflected in the title of this work, the Energy Technology Transfer and Workforce Development Initiative. At this time, I would like to invite our featured speakers for the webinar, Dave Mooney, whom you've already met, of NREL, and Lorelei Oviatt of the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department. I will be asking Dave and Lorelei a number of questions to frame economic opportunities that are currently available, as well as those that may materialize in the future. So Dave and Lorelei, if you want to get your videos unmuted, or the crux of our discussion today is the timely development of planning strategies and actions we can engage in now to ensure Kern County a secure and prosperous future. In this conversation, Dave will in particular highlight a national perspective and Lorelei a Kern County perspective. So let's get started with some questions for our guests. I'm not seeing Dave and Lorelei, so if you want to go ahead and unmute and make yourselves visible. I'm going to start with you, Lorelei. You have years of energy experience, energy permitting, including our successes at having most of our renewables, solar and wind, in California. Please explain to us where Kern County is as it relates to energy.
Well, thank you so much for including me. My video is on. I don't know, I can see myself, so I'm not sure what the technological breakdown here is. but we do much better with renewables than we do with this doomed technology. So Kern County has already been in the planning for decades. We have a plan to move forward, and we already, there we are, we already, as people have noted, provide a large percentage of the renewable energy for California. So one of the things I like to point out is any place that you live in California, you are getting green electrons from Kern County. Most of the renewable energy for the city of Los Angeles comes from projects that are sited and built here in Kern. We have about 602 megawatts of battery storage already in operation, but we have 3,000 megawatts in the permitting process over here at the planning department. We have the largest biodiesel in California, Crimson. We have just recently started with an alternative fuel company that makes alternative diesel from plants that's reusing a refinery. This is our future, alternative fuels. However, as you're going to hear from Dave and others, this is a new industry. I like to say that alternative fuels are where wind and solar were in 2007. Just to put this in perspective, when Kern County got all of these thousands of megawatts, in 2009, the largest solar project in the world was 10 megawatts. And I routinely permit 500 megawatt projects. We thought that was big. My planners now are like, oh, another 500 megawatts. Okay, let's do an environmental impact report. So the alternative fuel industry, that's where they're at. Lots of innovation coming out of Silicon Valley, lots of excitement, but they have not scaled up yet. We want Kern to be the place. We have the proximity to the interstate highway. I have permitting streamlining. We have an experienced workforce, and with this new partnership, we will be laying the groundwork such that when companies are ready to scale up, we will be ready for them. So I see a bright future for an expansion of our energy planning, and I want to end with an acknowledgement that the Board of Supervisors has already added to our economic development platform carbon management industries. So that is actually officially part of the Kern County Board of Supervisors platform, and we see all of these industries as a natural fit.
Well, thank you, Lorelei. And now let's jump to you, Dave. In your position at NREL, you're aware of the leading research, development, and technology transfer activity in the energy sector. What do you see as some of the most exciting developments on the horizon? And what should we in Kern County know about to prepare ourselves and our economy for the future?
Oh, thank you. Can you see me okay? I couldn't find the renegade colors in my closet as we discussed the other day, so I got my background instead. Very, very good remarks from Lorelei in talking about what some of the future opportunities are. At NREL, we're working based on a 10-year vision that we've developed. Several years ago, we looked through what we believed were going to be the most significant megatrends that might impact the energy sector. Issues such as a move toward greater electrification, continued population growth, economic development, and increasing standards of living, especially in developing countries, and some resulting resource competition. And we identified three main areas that we thought NREL was well positioned to impact. That would in turn positively impact those megatrends. And the three areas that we are focused on are areas that we refer to as integrated energy pathways. So an effort to make sure that we can introduce new energy technologies that often have unique characteristics, operating and performance characteristics relative to conventional technologies, to make sure we can integrate those into the legacy system and maintain affordability and reliability and hopefully increase resilience. The second area, and this speaks very much to some of the opportunities that Lorelei was discussing, is in what we call electron submolecules. And we see a future led by Kern County, as you all have rightly pointed out, where there is likely to be an abundance of electrons in the system from wind and solar. And often, as Sarah Kurtz referred to, storage is going to be needed. And so we envision a future where we are able to take these abundant cheap electrons and convert small molecules like methane and carbon dioxide to chemical precursors and fuels using the energy from electrons. So that's our electrons to molecules initiative. And the third is a circular economy for energy materials. So this is an initiative to begin to design materials that are going to be critical for energy technologies in a way where we take into account the full life cycle utilization of those materials from the outset. So instead of mine and use and dispose in a linear fashion, the way most of our materials and technologies are deployed and consumed today, we want to be able to, at the end of a technology's life, completely reutilize the materials that are and elements that are embedded in that material. So there are tremendous opportunities, I think, in all three of these areas for Kern County. You're already leading the way in many ways in integrated energy pathways. In some of the background work that I did, in fact, not only are you, is it impressive that you're the leading county in wind and solar in the country, but if Kern County were a country, you'd be 21st in wind and 20th in solar. That is really impressive. So you know how to do wind and solar clearly, but there's, I believe, remains a great deal of opportunity in distributed technologies. I think when you're talking about the power system, one of the developments I think that is going to be so exciting and offering economic opportunity is the fact that we're moving to a much more distributed system than we've had historically. So that by technologies being deployed locally in the communities, it presents a lot of economic opportunity and creation of jobs that can't, by definition, be outsourced as more generation technologies get distributed into the communities at the residential and commercial level. So a lot of opportunity there. I think in electrons to molecules and in renewable fuels, this really is a tremendous opportunity. And if you look at the possibility of hydrogen generation for a fuel source and for storage of wind and solar, that's certainly a great opportunity. Carbon capture and use of methane through biocatalysis and electrocatalysis to make renewable fuels and chemical precursors, I think, is an enormous opportunity to be able to supply our fuels and our chemical needs through renewable resources. So these are some of the, I think, some of the exciting opportunities that we see at NREL. It's really these three objectives that I talked about for NREL: integrated energy pathways, electrons to molecules, and circular economy for energy materials, are all very much interrelated. The way we approach them, it's premised upon an abundance of wind and solar in the system. So Kern County could be very central to the realization of a lot of the promise of these initiatives.
Thank you, Dave. Lorelei, I was just wondering if you wanted to quickly respond to Dave before I go to my next question. I think you're on mute, Lorelei.
Sorry, I want to bookmark this. So what you have here is you have this process where we have all this exciting research. That's what Dave is talking about. We have all these emerging technologies. Then you have the planning director. Who I am is the other side. The let's get something built. Let's find out what's a good fit. So part of this whole entire process is some things are good fits for California and some things won't work here because of the Clean Air Act, because of the water, because of a variety of different things. That is our future. One of the things that's so exciting about our oil industry is they have made it work in California. We have the most environmentally protective oil permitting here in Kern County, where 80% of the oil is. But it is a challenge for those companies. So I also want to put the sideboard or on this, that this process is excellent because we also need to sort through all of these kinds of things. I have entrepreneurs from Silicon Valley come to me all the time for meetings, and some of them will work here and some of them will not. And that is part of ramping up quickly so that in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we do have a robust economy. And we're not just left as we provide the green electrons for the rest of California, but we don't have a fiscal stability here to keep our libraries open, our parks open, and to keep people employed. So I just want to kind of give those two sides of it. We want all the research and all the thinking, and then we need to start filtering it through what's really possible.